us share his deep insight and the research wisdom in the technical session for our Atal FDP that is organized by Gyan Ganga College of Technology with the support of AICT. Dear all participants, please join me in a welcome our esteemed resource person, Dr. Akhtar Rasool. I request to sir, please start your session.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Akhtar Rasool, as my introduction is already done. Um this session is about to introduce the importance of research methodology in the field of healthcare and the various tools of the basic various tools of the research methodology used in the field of the healthcare. Although healthcare is not my very much field of working, but my uh, one of the scholar is already done PhD in the field of this field in the field of healthcare. So my screen is on.
Yes, sir,
Yes,
it's
yes, sir,
very
it's
Yes,
visible.
visible.
yes. Okay. So research methodology is a important subject uh, in the field of research. First, you have to understand what is the research methodology and how you apply these research methodology tools in the field of research in the field of healthcare. Healthcare is a prime field. You can say the prime field nowadays, and government of India having provided important mission to speed up the research in the field of healthcare. So it's a government mission goal to work in the field of healthcare and in the field of AI. So AI is one of the important part to establish the research in the field of healthcare. First of all, my presentation and my lecture is containing what first I'm declaring about what is research methodology, and then we discuss some of the important tools of the research methodology, and we discuss some of the important point of RM research methodology in healthcare. So, what is research methodology? Research methodology is a systematic process of conducting research and that provides a structured framework for the investigation.
Sir,
Uh,
sir,
yes,
sorry to interrupt you. Sir, is it possible? Could you switch on your camera?
yeah. Actually,
Yes.
my speed and internet speed is slow. That's why I'm stopping them.
Okay, okay. No
I'll
problem,
just,
sir.
I,
Before, sir,
I'll
before.
just on.
Okay, sir.
I'll just join.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Is it
Okay, sir.
visible?
It is visible, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
So, how you perform the research, it is important. It is just like doing some course. When you doing some course, there's a specifically in the course there is a syllabus, and syllabus contains the units, unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and so on. And when you progress as per the unit, then you are able to understand the entire course properly. So whenever you go for a learning program, teaching learning programs or doing research, there is a certain way to achieve the research, to achieve the objective of the research. Otherwise, what happened? You have collect the data, you have studied the data, you find out the insights, but you are not going to relate each and every insights to the exact relevant facts. That's why there is a procedure to conduct the research, and this procedure is called the research methodology. So it's explain how you're doing the research is done by step by step for conceptualizing the conclusions. So importantly, when you work doing the research through the research methodology, your results are accurate, reliable, and legal. So there is a formula, you can say the research formula to how you present your research and how you validate your research, how you make your research reliable and accurate, and how you publish your result. These all factors comes in the RM section. For example, why it is important? It is important. It's just like a simple way. Um, if you are wanted to ask a question, um, that which phone is better, Samsung or the iPhone, you go on the Google and searching that the blogs which are associated with the Samsung phone and the blogs which are associated with the iPhone, and based on the blogs, you are concluding that which phone is better in your budget. So that's another kind of a research which is without a methodology. But in the field of engineering, in the field of healthcare, in the field of any important domains, we are not supposed to say that it's not so easy to find out the conclusion and declare that this conclusion is better and this conclusion is not better. For doing that, you need to provide a certain steps, and these steps are important, and these steps are sequential steps which leads to a proper mathematical justification of each and every conclusions. So these are the first. I'm just going to the comparison with and without the methodology. Uh, some places are there where we are saying that we need a without methodology you can find the answer. But when you are working in the field of engineering, you need a proper steps. So process in the field with research and without methodology, and with methodology. If you're talking about the process with methodology, this is a systematic and step by step, whereas without methodology, unstructured and random scenarios are going to be taken. Planning, there is a proper plan. In the research methodology, there is no plan. Objectives are set at first, and based on the objectives, you have to perform the research in the fe- through the RM methodology. Whereas there is only the understanding based research is done through without methodology. Objective, what is actually the objective is? Objectives, you can say easily, the objectives are the measurable terms. How you writing down the objective? Objective means you have how to measure the thing. Study is not the objective. You have to write down the objective in a way that where some measurement tools are there, and through the measurement tool, you can validate that this particular research is done or not, or in terms of comparison, in terms of matrix, some matrix terms, you have to write down the objectives. So in the in with the methodology, you have to. It is important that you have to write down the objectives first, and based on the objective, you have to run your research. Data types. The data may be in with methodology. Data may be the primary or secondary data, whereas in field without methodology, your opinions, online information, observation, any kinds of data you can use for finding out some of the conclusion, which no need to, you can say that further justification. Sample selection is very important. There is a mathematical tool to collect the data, sample to collect the data or samples. Data collection is done through the survey, experiments, and interview test. Whereas in without methodology, you can find out the blogs, videos, informal sources, any informal sources you can take out for finding your research. Uh, uh, in terms of data analysis, some statistical and mathematical model justified and models are techniques are used to find out the insights from the data, whereas no deep analysis is required. Hypothesis in the field of RM, a hypothesis is mandatory, where in the without methodology not required it. Reliability is high, reliability is low without methodology. There is a proper documentation. Documentation is done only basically for the knowledge transfer purposes. When you, if you have a proper documentation, you can repeat your research. Anybody can repeat this research through performing through to read out these reports and papers. Summaries or notes are there in without methodology. And use case, if you're talking about the use case is project, thesis, PhD, and these are the use cases of with methodology. And some personal research and learning is there in the field of without methodology. So why research methodology matters? So these are some parameters. And the parameter is that first parameter is accuracy. So when you are executing your research, you have to say that your how accurate your result is, and how reliable is your result is. And how reliability means how your result is said to be a valid for a particular set of particular set of validation space. And it is a error free, um, error free outcomes is there. Second is validity, how your result is valid. And finding these, there is a certain evidential proofs are there, so there are certain assumptions are there. Based on that, you have to validate your results. Next is consistency. So results can be repeated and verified by others. So result is said to be the consistent. uh, Make research more organized. So every step of research becomes structured and clear. So that's why it is said to be an organized one. And the building trust, readers, academics, academician committee, communities, and other researchers can trust the findings. So that's why we go for doing the research through the research methodology. How this research methodology performs. So these are the actually this is a life cycle steps of research methodology. So whenever you start doing research, it is important that you have to understand the problem first. So understand what is required. For example, if you're having a problem, so what this problem impact to the society? First, you have to identify that it is a problem or not, or how many solutions are there for the problems. If some solutions are there and the solutions are good solutions, then why you go performing your research on this topic? Means, for example, if you wanted to writing down a sorting algorithm, there are lots of sorting algorithms is there already given by so many researchers, and these algorithms are well proven algorithms. So you have to, instead of writing your new algorithm, you have to go for that already proven algorithm, because you no need to write down a new sorting algorithm until unless you have a data where you need to write down a very customized sorting algorithm. And these algorithms or these solutions, you can say that these solutions are not appropriate to solve your address your sorting problem, sorting your data in appropriate manner. Then you go for your writing down your own algorithm. So first it is important that you have to identify the problems. If it is a problem, then you have to search what are the available solutions. And if there are solutions, and then how you are thinking about these solutions. Solutions are good for which kind of a data or which kind of a circumstances algorithm is going to be planned or writing down by the researchers. So you have to understand the entire scenario. If you are saying that the existing systems, existing algorithms are not address properly the your problem, then you have to go for writing down the problem statement, that you have to write, you need to write down a new algorithm which addresses these issue in a broader aspects. uh, for that, identifying the problems you have to do. After identifying the problems you have to working on, you need to write down a new solution. You go for a literature survey, and then doing the research on this topic, how many people's writing down the solutions, and what are the pros and cons of the different solutions, means the advantage and the disadvantage or the limitations of the available solution. This is a broader study, and these literature review is a very important part of the research. If you do properly the literature survey, you are supposed to be a 80% completed your research, because you exactly know what you are going to write down, what things you need to address exactly, and with which solution, existing solution, you need to extend or modify, means which algorithm you need to modify, or which aspect you need to modify or extend. So after literature survey, you write down the objectives, what you have to do. So objectives is related somewhat the measurable terms, where you can say that this objective is going to be completed or not. If it is completed, what will be the result is there. So it is a hypothesis, and it's a measurable term, and or the proven term. You cannot say that is a vague term, that so to study these things. Study is a vague term. You have to measure that. You can write down that you have to complete. Yeah, you have to write down an algorithm which addresses this issue. So this kind of a objective you need to write down. After writing the objectives, you have to complete the objective while you are writing down, while you complete your research. After writing the objectives, you write the methodology. Methodology means how you achieve these objectives. Choose proper research plans, methods. After selecting the method, you go for a method of data collection. So data collection is a step where you can collect your own data, or you can create your own data. If you wanted to you wanted to perform the research for some organization, then you go there and collect the data which are already generated by the organization. So there are two types of data: primary data and the secondary data. So primary data is the data which generated by you, and the secondary data which the data generated by some other organization, or maybe the some other peoples, and that data you are using for your own research. But important part is that in the data collection process, uh, each and every data, if data is some already collected by some other people, each and every data is collected by the means of some specific objectives. So so if you wanted to do your own very customized research, so you need to collect data by your own, because these data maybe sometimes not able to the secondary data or data collected by other people is not completely holding all kinds of information which is required in your research. So that time you need to go for a create a process of collecting your own data, and that data is more reliable, and that data is more suited, the more customized data which are suited for your research. So data collection is an important part, because if you are not your data not having the characteristics, proper characteristics to solve your problem, then you are not able to find the meaningful insight from the for your research. So data collection, the important part. Second, after data collection, the data is you need some to pre-process data, make process data, and that data is directly used for the analysis purpose. To make it the pre-processed data, you have to clear some errors which are already inside in the data, to remove that errors. Missing values you have to remove. Sometimes you need a standardization, normalization of the data. So, and sometimes you need to reduce the data because you have a huge amount of data. So you need to reduce that data and make it some you have to create a new structure of data that called as a data reduction process. So that all process, all steps is need to be performed, and after that you have to create the pre-processed data and then supply it to the next step, that is a data analysis process. And data analysis process having an analysis model, and that contains the methodology and the Actually, it is a mathematics, it's a combination of the mathematics, computer science, AI, you can say, the computer science, mathematics, and the domain specific knowledge. And these all things make a data analysis model, and that model actually process the information and find the meaningful insights that called as conclusions. And conclusion you derived, it is comply the objective you are written in the initial stages. After getting the conclusions or answers, you have to justify that answer, validate that answers, and after validating these your answers, then you have to writing down the proper reports or writing down the proper papers, uh, which are containing all the steps of your research. So these are the important journey of the RM. So when you're talking about the data which are used in the research methodology, the first data is the quantitative data. Yeah. These are the some important categories. There are more categories apart from that also, which containing more detailed form of the data. But I'm just discussing some of the category. First is quantitative data. And quantitative data having two sections: discrete data, continuous data. Discrete data having uh, the whole numbers, and these whole numbers are the integer numbers, and whereas the continuous data having some decimal values, and there are wide range of values are possible when you're writing down the quantitative data. So based on your characteristics of the information, these data is going to be used. There is another category, qualitative data, where you are need to be your data is a label data. So somewhat uh, there are many categories also, but there are I'm mentioning only two categories: nominal and ordinal. Where nominal data means there is no specific order in the data. For example, the gender is having only two data, male and female. There is no male and female having no mathematical value. So you cannot compare male and female in terms of mathematics. So it is a non-numerical data actually. Uh, but when you start processing it, you can make it as a numerical value also. The religion part also, maybe color, red, blue, green, yellow. These are the color which are distinct possible values, but these values are not comparable. These are a distinct values, but these are not comparable in terms of some numerical aspect. uh, but and there is no particular order. Qualitative data is the data where ordinal data where where we have a certain order in the nominal data. For example, uh, we get a medal in the Olympics. So there's a category of gold, silver, and bronze medal. So we definitely order that the gold is better than the silver is better than the bronze. But there is no numerical comparison exactly. But we know that there is a certain order where gold is better than the silver, and silver is better than the bronze. So there is a certain order of the data, but these data are not comparable in terms of numerical values. So to represent sometimes the characteristics or information, you need to use the nominal or ordinal qualitative data. When you are talking about the actual research data, data is divided into two parts: primary data and the secondary data. For example, primary data is called as the first hand data. First hand data means uh, you can say that the data which are generated by you. So, if you need to perform a very customized research, very specific research, and these research is not supposed to be done by any other people, then you need a specific kind of an information, and that information is not going to be collected by other people's. Previously, is not collected by other people's. So you need to establish a process and through that process you have to collect the data, you have to generate the data. So for that you can perform interviews, you can perform the surveys, you can go for some observational data, means you need to capture the monitoring system data. For example, if you wanted to do the processing of video processing, you need to collect the data from the CCTV cameras, you have to collect the live data from the um, from some e-commerce website. So that data is going to be said to be the primary data. That data is collected by you. So that data is surely a more reliable data, a more suitable to your research data. And but this collection of data process is the difficult process and may contains errors. So you have to very precise, very correct to collect the data. So primary data is better than the secondary data. Secondary data means data collected by someone else and you are using for your research. So that if data is collected by some other organization and you are collecting data from that organization and then you start performing the research. So you that time you are not able to perform very customized research, but you can save the time. Importantly, the the primary data section is more appropriate for performing the very customized or very unique research, because each and every time you have to record the data according to your requirements. Okay, but the primary data is a costly process and secondary data is relatively you can say that the simple process, and you are not having a burden to collect the data. So what are the outcomes of the research methodology? I'm just discussing the outcomes one by one. uh, we have a clear problem definition. So clear problem definition means you understand that what you have to do, or what don't do and don'ts. You have to declare do and don'ts. You know, properly you can say that we have to find out these things. We don't work on these things. So precisely when you performing the research, yeah, you avoid the confusions, and you have to set proper goals, proper direction. What you want. This is the important aspect of the research method, and otherwise you may get confused when you're performing the research, that what you want and what you're looking for and what you process the data. So it is a after you using the RM process, you have a clearer definition. Second outcome is systematic data collection. So you have a systematic process to collect the data, and when you're collecting the data, surely you go for organizing the data and removing the errors and removing the ambiguities which are inside the data. And surely you are improving the quality of the data. So if you have a good quality data, then your research is a research outcome directly proportional to the quality of the data. So surely your result will be better. Then third important outcome is scientific decision making. So you have each when you are using RM, so sure you go for a logical and analytical aspects to define or interpret the data. So you have a reasoning, and you have the reasoning means some A is, if A is there, then this is B. If A, then B. If B, then C. Somewhat you have to make it logical things, and evidence based things are there, and conclusions are more accurate, and these conclusions may be used in the future also, or you can say that you can repeat these conclusion for the future research. So it is not like that you perform the research and after, when someone else is coming for doing the research in the same field, he may get start from the initial stage to collect the data and process the data. If you are doing the research through the RM process, so you have to define the logics, and these logics may be used in the future also. There is more accurate and reliable outcomes are there. Understanding of the variables. Variables means the characteristics of the data. Means normally you can say the characteristics of data means the attributes of the data, and we can establish the cause and effect relationship uh, between the variables and how the variables are associated with each other. And this is for that you may go for a correlate the variables. Then valid results. So if you're having a good quality data, your result is valid. For that, for the data you are using, then you declare that these results, the result is valid for these specific important aspects. So you define properly the objective based results. That is what these results for defining the valid results. Improving the critical thinking. So it improves the ability to analyze questions and interpret. And surely develop strong research and reasoning skills. Um, Next is somewhat your practical and theoretical aspects. Practical and theoretical aspects is defined as somewhat it provides the solutions um of the real world problems. So, what real world problem is that, and what are the practical and theoretical solution for these research, and how you address this research to solve any real world problem. That's why research is associated directly with the real world scenarios, and these research may be used for your um, wellness of the humankind. Contribution to the knowledge. Contribution means if you are having new insights, if you find out new meaningful informations from the data, then you are comparing with the old one, and then establish that these insights are better than the old one, and replaces the information or maybe modify the existing information for the upcoming researchers. Better decision making means this is the planned and sequence planned steps. So based on the planning, if you are working, you can improve you can improve your actions and outcomes, and you can generate better outcomes by performing your specific order of actions. So you're performing the action in a specific planned manner, then you optimize your results. There are certain applications, important applications where actually research methodology used in each and every field of the research. But I'm writing down some of the important uh, research methodology fields. First, it is working on the educations. So education means it is for improving the teaching and learning process. So teaching and learning process for the it is performing the how you these research affect the online classes or online teaching on the student performance. How students learn these things. So this is continuous process of in the education field. Through the R and we are trying to improve the teaching and learning process and measure the learning outcomes properly. So, how many processes are used to improve the teaching learning, and what are the outcomes of the processes which are used for in the education field? The second is healthcare and medicine. This healthcare is for the treatment of the patients, and it is for improving the whole total. You can say the total healthcare system. So improving the treatments, improving the patient's care, improving the facility provided by the hospital, reducing the cost of meditations, new meditation findings, or you can say each and every aspect of the healthcare sector, it is going to be used. Uh, Next is business. So many businesses are used for any e-commerce business, any other businesses. These are used to improve their outcomes. For example, if there are two brands, a brand A and brand B, then how brand B is going to be improved to get more benefits over the brand A, or you improve their purchase over a brand A. So this is the comparison of business field where so many characteristics are there, and these characteristics are addressed and get the final outcomes. Social sciences, social sciences is basically um used for improving the behavior of the human, and how this behavior is going to be improved. So for that, you have to uh, understand the behavioral sciences, and then after understanding the behavioral sciences and behavior of the person by taking the interviews and questionnaires, and then suggest some important um, methods to improve the society, and to improve the human behavior, and solve the social issues associated with this. Especially these are nowadays, there are many researches done on the social media sites. So these are social media sites is research is basically to um, handle the impact of social media on youth. So these are the researches are done on social media. Science and technologies means these are the innovates new important hypotheses, new technologies, new algorithms. These are the purposes to work on the science and technology, and this is done through the experiments, simulations, and prototyping. And for example, this is for make a new solar panels, which optimizes the solar energy and converted the solar energy into the electrical energy in a proper form. So this are somewhat a technology and science research, where actually we are going to perform the research based on the real world problems. So if you're talking about the healthcare, so research methodology in healthcare refers to the systematic process used to study the various diseases, and treatment associated with the diseases, and the improving the patient behavior, or understanding the patient behavior, improving the patient medical systems. So how the medical system is going to be improved, so that patients patient care is done more properly, and patient feel better when it comes in the medical system, and the total overall health outcomes. So we are dividing the entire research in healthcare in some categories. So these categories are improving the patient care. So patient care means you have to discover best treatments or best practices, so that the better care of the patient is there. And these are not identifying the new medicine. These are the treatment practices. How you're going to treat the entire patient while having the patient having some disease, so that it is properly recovered. Some peoples may be depressed when they may get having a diseases, and because of that depression, they are not supposed to be come out properly. The outcome is not proper because of these depressions. So that's why the you have to improve the complete patient care, and discover new treatment techniques, new procedures through which patient care is done properly. Second is evidence-based decisions. So evidence-based decisions means you have to find out new meditations, and means you have to do some meditations, and based that medicine, what are the impacts of that medicine. In this category, you have to identify the the proper meditation, or update the meditation for the purpose of to purpose of uh, heal the patient. So this is evidence-based decision, means there are simply uh, the meditations, and what are the impact of that meditation, and how you improve that meditations, and these all things are associated with some mathematical formulas. These are not supposed to be assumptions that, and this is a rigorous um, uh, evidence checking and rigorous data analysis process, and through that you can do these decision making. Sometimes early detection, another thing is that some diseases are you need to think about that early detection of these diseases are better than after the recovery process. So prevention is better than the when you going through these diseases and go for a recovery. So these type of diseases, for that you have to plan the research, and understand the human body, performing the test, performing the awareness program, and so that based on these awareness programs, you may get reduce the overall risk associated while handling this risk. For example, the government of India started a new projects in which in these projects a specific kind of tests and scans are there, through which they are going to regular provide free medical checkups for ladies, for checking out the breast cancers. And for that, each and every 6 months there are the camps which are freely freely perform the test to check out the symptoms and the status of the breast cancers in ladies. And after that, you may think that after performing these uh, programs programs, how you execute the program, this is a research procedure. You may get aware of the people about these cancer diseases, which are very common, which are very common diseases, and these diseases can be prevented by taking the precautions. So this is not talking about how you talking about the medicines. It is not the medicines. It is somehow how you planned yourself to avoid this disease. It's a prevention mechanism. So prevention plan is there. This is actually checking out how you perform the test, and how you take the precautions to avoid the risk of avoid the risk of a particular disease. Safe and effective treatment ensure the medicine and therapies are tested properly, and these medicine having no side effects. So medicine, sometimes medicine is launched, but after a few years, it is found that this medicine is not is having a very harming side effects, and these side effects, after that the medicine is going to be banned. So when you put a medicine in a regular use, and if you're performing some therapies, then you have to find out these what are the negative aspects of these medicines. So positive and negative aspect you have to check properly for existing medicines, and improving the performance of the medicines, and the policies, healthcare policies. So how you make it more healthcare to improve the overall system. So for that, uh, the research is done through the research guides of government, and the doctors and the hospitals staff, and main key staffs of the hospitals. And through that, new policies are going to be established. And through that, the overall healthcare system is going to be improved. So these are the four, five important fields where research methodology is directly applicable. Now, we are going to think about the types of healthcare research methodology. So first is a clinical research. So clinical research means directly talking about the medicines, treatments, and the medical equipments, the performance of the medical equipment used, and how you improve the performance of medical equipments. So these are the field where we're talking about the clinical research. The second is epidemiological research. So the research is talking about how you control the spread of the diseases. Some diseases you need to be you need to contain for a spread of. So it's a special sections where we are going to study about the how diseases are going to be spread over a humankind. So this is epidemiological research where different kinds of diseases is going to be studied. Second, a qualitative research. A qualitative is talking about the quality of the patients, and for that, how the patients you are going to improve the understanding of the patients, how you improve the satisfaction level, how you improve the faith of the patient amongst the medical system. So if the patient having the faith, then definitely the patient may get better results. So how you improve the patient behavior, overall behavior and satisfaction and experience, and this is comes the qualitative research. In that case, we are not supposed to talk about the medicines. We are talk about the facility, and we are talking about the different therapies where we are going to be improve the patient experience. Second is next is quantitative research. So in the quantitative type research, uh, we have to talk about the statistics analysis of the patient data and outcomes. So sometimes what happened, the medicine, when you applying the medicine is not giving the proper answer. What are the proper impact? Means we have to check the overall impact of that medicine. So you have to create a proper sequence. You have to sequence and plan to find out the overall outcomes of the medicine. So you have to prepare test cases, and based on these test cases, you have to test the various peoples and then collect that data and observe that data first, the health of the patient, then collect the data, and then after collection of data, you have to compile the data, and after that you have to, and specifically these are associated with the medical history of the patients, and based on these come very rigorous statistical analysis, we have to find out the patient uh, data and outcomes. So and we have to find out the meaningful insights about the medicines, about the systems. The experimental data is somewhat the you have to how you perform the testing on the control conditions. So some medicine is on experimental basis, some of the real use. So these are the some medicines may be used after so many experiments, they may get to the original use. So there is a how you perform the testing in the control in the environments. Then survey, how you collect the medical survey information. So collecting the data through our questionnaires and the interviews, medical related information. These are the another kind of a research. These are some kind of uh, thoughts of the people's related thought of the people related research associated to the medical facilities. So these are the different fields. Uh, these are some analysis reports I'm just going to share out. Uh, the key applications is in the field of healthcare is identifying disease patterns through machine learning algorithm. Actually, it is somewhat a use of the AI in the healthcare system, identifying the disease patterns through the medical, through the machine learning algorithms. Uh, then the predicting patient readmission risks and complications, optimizing the source allocations, and the detecting meditation interactions and adverse events associated with specific meditation process. So these are the key applications areas where going to data analysis is performed. And we found out that some of the important reports, I'm just finding out the reports. The reports done by BMG Quality and Safety London. In this reports, it said that this report said that the 30% reduction in the errors is coming up when you performing the predictive analysis of diagnostic form. Means the when you 30% the errors uh, may be reduced. Sometimes sometimes the peoples may get wrongly diagnosed for a disease. For that, this is called the error in the diagnostic process. So 30% is going to be reduced till 2024. This is BMG report said that. 25% cost is saving for hospital implementing these steps, data driven strategies, and so that the overall operational cost is going to be reduced. uh, and there's the 15% of the better outcomes, improvement in patients outcomes through the personal treatment plans. So these are the important outcomes saw about BMG quality safety reports and NIH precise medicine research reports. These reports says that these are the outcomes till 2024. Top tools which are going to be used for the healthcare. So what are actually the tools? So um, research methodology tools are somewhat you can say the exact tools, techniques, maybe I mean, you can say the techniques or methods or algorithms or software. These are said to be the tools of research methodology. Means how you perform this research methodology in healthcare. So for the data collection process in the medical field, because if any research data is important and important, or you can say that they play the key role in the research form. So for that, uh, the primary tool is survey and questions. For surveys and questionnaires means you have to perform the survey and you have to give the form to the user to fill to give the answer of a specific set of queries. It is just like a form. So you have to fill the form and submit to the peoples. And by seeing your form, the user can understand that what you are actually information you having filled in the form. That information is associated with you. So collection of these forms, and after that, these forms are going to be compiled. So a specific set of question is going to be asked to patients, doctors, or public, and then we get the answers, compile that answers, and store these answers in a specific structured data set. This is surveys and questionnaire. So how you perform these surveys and questionnaires? Research methodology. will give you idea about how you perform survey, how you perform the questionnaire. And when you perform survey and questionnaire, you may get the sometimes you may get the wrong information. Some information you are not able to get the information because people are filling the forms. Sometimes people may left some of the field blank. These are said to be the missing information. So you have to predict the missing information also, and based on that you have to prepare the structure set. So RM provide how to perform research and questionnaires. Second, interviews. So interviews is just like a questionnaire, but it is more precise. A questionnaire step, and this is a face-to-face. Uh, Face-to-face, you have to interact with the people and collecting the data. Face-to-face, maybe on phone, maybe on online interviews. So in the interview, what is the difference between questionnaire and interview? Interview is that you can say that if you asking a question, if the recipient is not going to be understand your question, so you can tell that you want this the information, and you can guide the people, you to guide the patient or doctor or any of the any of the people which are giving the answers. So you guide them how to answer your queries sometimes, so you may get a more precise answer. Means there is a guidance is there in the interview section, so it more precise collection. But if taking the interviews, this is one by one. It is a time-consuming process and very tedious process. Third one is observational tools. Observational tools means just like a ICU system, where there are some machines are which are monitoring your blood pressure. Some machines are there which you are which are some you are recording some of your brain signals and other important aspect of your health, patient characteristics. So these are observational tools. Sometimes the patient is under observation in the CCTV cameras. So you have to check the behavior of the patients. So these are the observational tools. So in the observational tools, you may get more precise data, more correct data, and here we can identify the patterns and behavior and the responses of the treatments properly. Uh, this is very important tools where in the observational tool there is a no intervention of the human. There's no intervention of the human, so that it may get the more proper data. Some more tools are there which is called as medical record or somewhat EHR, electronic health records. So these are the when you're performing the test, so you get the health information about a person. You have to store these information, and after storing these information you have to perform the analysis. And hospital systems may sometimes use these records for performing the specific set of research. Lab reports is the main ingredients of these EHR. Then the clinical trial research. Clinical trial research are the research which is done through the trials. Scientific tools are used, and some scientific methods may be used. So you give drugs or treatments to the patients, and this is done in a specific controlled environment or in a specific controlled group of peoples. You have to perform the experiments, and you see what are the outcomes are there. So here, this kind of tools, this kind of research is performed in very uh, secure place with very safety and security, and specific pointers are there, matrix are there, which are going to check each and every changes. each and every change is done in this clinical trial. These are some RCTs, place boss, double blind trials. These are some groups, important groups, which are performing the clinical trials. So you may be you can be the member of these groups, and you can be the part of any clinical trial, and you may get in the observations, and after that the some result will be obtained through the experiment performed on you. So this is important clinical trial tools. Then diagnosis and laboratory tools. The medical test used to collect the healthcare related data, detect diseases, monitoring, and patient health, which supports clinical research. Mainly, these are the MRI scan, CT scan, blood test, and ECG signals. Then statistical tools. There are softwares. Software tools are there. These tools analyze the healthcare data, and these talk about the statistics. So for this is for interpretation of finding the patterns and the testing the some specific kind of hypothesis. So in the statistical method part, these are the hypothetical testing, one of the part which are also leading to these research. What are the variances are there? Variances, ANOVA is there. So what are the variances in the various reports? The changes in the variances, and these are some tests. Some the statistical tools are used to find out or analyze the healthcare data. Epidemiological tools to study disease distribution and risk factor, and this is for the tracking out the outbreaks and calculate disease spreads and identify the root cause of the disease. Examples hai incident rates, prevalences and risk ratio. Then screening tools. Uh, these are the tools which are detection of the identifying the diseases, early detection of the diseases, and it is for preventing several disease and initial early severe diseases and initiate early treatments like BP monitoring, glucose test, and mammography. These are screening tools. Case study and case reports. Detailed documents of the single patient or specific event. To understand this, understand the rare diseases. If someone having a rare diseases, then document each and every moment of the patient disease history, and if you have to record that and understand that rare disease, find out unique symptoms, find out the outcomes of the medicines on this disease, and this case report is used for identifying the new disease and the solution to that. Uh, Another tool is focus groups. These are the groups of patients and staffs and caregivers, and there are groups which groups how these groups are going to be improve the healthcare program in the society, uh, and this is completely based on the user experiences. Uh, for designing, this will may help the designing of better vaccination awareness program. Checklist and rating scales. This is a structured tool to measure the symptoms or quality of the care, and it standardizes basically the patient assessment and reduce medical errors. Um, this is example of this is a pain rating scale ensures proper pain management. So this is rating scale ensure proper pain management. So rating is in how much pain you have. Standardizes the things. For that, this is the checklist and rating scales are there. Biostatistical tool, mathematical tool for validating the results, increasing accuracy, reliability, and scientific validity of the findings. Uh, for example, the p values in the test, hypothetical testing, p value confirm whether a treatment is effective or not. So this is the p value is associated with the effectiveness of the treatment. Clinical audit tools. These are the systematic review of the clinical process and outcomes. Uh, this is actually provide the improvement in the quality and safety of uh, efficiency in the hospitals. And also this is for the management side. This is for providing the management a good uh, clinical supports in the hospital. These research is going to be performed, and certain medical audit procedures are there, and through that we have to check the entire system for the medical use. What are the impact of research methodology tools in healthcare? So these impacts are pretty precise. Improve the patient care first. So this will helps to this tool helps to understand the patient needs, symptoms, and satisfaction level, and treatments, and what are the treatment outcomes. So this will improve the patient care importantly. Second, enhance diagnostic accuracy. Second part is diagnostic accuracy. You need to improve lab diagnostic tool allow to early and accurate detection of the disease. Support evidence based medicines. So there are statistical and analytical tools for provide the support and provide the reasoning for each and every medicines. And each and every medicine based on some logical and analytical, based on the analytical and logical reasoning based medicine, not only for the assumptions. Ensure safety and effectiveness of new treatments. In that category, clinical trials, tools, new tests, new drugs, therapies are going to be approved. Help track disease and outbreak. Epidemiological tools monitoring disease spread, infection rates, and risk factors. These all comes in the health track and disease and outbreaks. And then the improve hospital efficiency and quality. So for that, observation tools are there, audits tools are there, checklists are there, standardization for the standardization. These all are reduce the errors and improve the healthcare process. Next is enable the better decision making. Data analysis tool guide policies, hospital planning, and clinical decisions. Strengthen public health programs. So this is for the survey and focuses on groups helping design effective vaccination drives and awareness campaigns and healthcare policies. Increase research accuracy and reliability. So biostatistical tools validate result and reduce the errors inside the data. So reduce biases or errors in the healthcare studies. Last one is support early detection and prevention. So this is screening tools helps and identify diseases before symptoms appears and reduce mortality rates. So these are the future of the healthcare tools. So AI and machine learning tools are there, and these tools are going to be used to improve the healthcare system. These tools uses algorithms to analyze the data sets and detects patterns and develop a support decision making. Uh, for that, what are the impact? Impact is simply the faster analysis, early detection of the diseases, improve diagnostics accuracy, and reduce the human errors. Second, IoT devices and wearables. So this is for recording the data. Smart health devices are there. That devices collect the real-time physiological data especially from wearable devices. And for that, better monitoring of the patients um, is there. And then we are able to collect the richer data set because we have to continuously record the data. We have to collect the richer data sets, enhance this the chronic disease studies, and accelerate the clinical insights. Third, big data and predictive analysis is there. We know that we have a right now we have a huge amount of medical data. So how to store this huge amount of medical data is the problem. So big data is somewhat the comes in the category of AI. Big data and predictive analysis are there, which hold importantly provides the platform to store the big data, huge amount of data, and provide the processes, map reduce processes, and any processes, parallel running processes, which are going to process the data and analyze these large volumes of data and large volumes of heterogeneous health data and different types of data. Uh, it basically impact is that enabling population level study, forecast future health trends, and support the personalized treatment. So we have a detailed study of the big data and predictive analysis to give the detailed study of the population. So you can get the entire population data and then you have to start processing it. You are able to process it through these tools, and after processing it, you may get the meaningful information from that data. Virtual and remote clinical trials. So online based trials are there using digital consents. Uh, Telemedicines are there, and remote monitoring tools are there. So this may reduce your cost, lower cost, faster recruitment, wider participation, participant diversity, more accurate real world data is there. Cloud based research platforms. So cloud-based research platform is there to store the knowledge, to share the knowledge, or to store the information, knowledge, and data, to store the important knowledge and data, share the data, analyze the medical research data. So many firms are going to be sign the MOU and then put their data on cloud to do the joint research. So this will give you the global collaboration in the field of healthcare and reducing the infrastructure cost and instant access of data sets and tools. You may get the variety of the data also from this. And the next technology is trends is somewhat the blockchain data security systems. The blockchain data security system decentralizes the data and decentralize the data according to the requirements and provide the security in the data also. So blockchain data security in somewhat medical health, data privacy, one of the aspect in the medical field also. So it may get through these topics. You can work on that. This may protect patient privacy, reduces data tampering, and increase the trust in the data sharing. So blockchain is provide basically a data security aspect. Then advanced biostatist and software. So next generation statistical tool for complex medical data. These are more reliable results, faster statistical modeling, and higher quality clinical conclusions you can draw from these softwares. So there are software are there which are standard softwares are there made by the companies, the famous companies, and these you performing the study based on these statistical tools. You may get the proper outcomes through that. Automation in the research process, automated system for data cleaning, transcriptions, coding, and report generation. So many systems are available nowadays which are easily do the research on the data. Saves time, minimize human errors, allow researcher to focus on insight rather than manual task. Integration of EHR, electronic health records, linking patient medical history with research database. You have to provide the privacy also in these data sets. And one of the aspect, integration of this electronic health record. So you may get the for the researcher, researcher can able to get the wide variety of data to performing their research. More comprehensive studies, longitudinal research improves disease understanding. Genomics and precise medicine tools for analyzing the DNA biomarker and genetic variations are there. So these genomics and precision medicine tools are different kinds of the field where we going to study the genes, and genes data are there, and this is a high level research for identifying the root cause of the diseases, and how you improve the immunity of the entire humankind. So highly personalized treatment plans, new drugs discovery, and advanced disease predictions are there. So these are the future impact, and these 10 fields actually, AI based field. These all are AI based fields, and these fields are there for doing the research. So you can do the research on through the analyzing the data through AI ML, or you can do the research um, to make it IoT devices, or to collect the data from some available IoT devices and process it accordingly to generalize the data. You can perform the big data, develop the big data plate infrastructures to execute the analytical part. Virtual systems, virtual platforms you can develop, cloud-based solution you can provide, security you can provide through blockchain. You can do the advancement in the biostatistics tool, automation process. Maybe you are able to do the uh, research in how to integrate the EHR to global systems. So because different countries and different organization having a different kind of EHR system, to make a common EHR system, means you have to find out your procedure, which is you are going to be normalized, and you have to make a common format for EHR. So the research is going to do on EHR also, and some genomics, precision medicine tools. You can do the research on genomics also. These are some of the important tools I'm taking, references I'm taking out, uh, and these are the references through which I'm preparing this PPT. So thank you so much. If anybody asks any question, to please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, actually,
Yes, please.
you have suggested lots of research methodology tools which are
Yes.
applicable for the primary collection of the data set and for their analysis purpose.
Right.
But when we apply all these tools, so these tools are generally applicable for the primary collection of the data set. When we talk about the primary collection of the data set, the data will be very less.
No, no,
And
no. No, no. See, you want a
Mhm.
specific thing. You want it a specific to fulfill a specific objective, right? And for a completion of that specific object, you need a specific kind of a data. You know, for example,
Okay.
you want a specific information from me. You know, so you have to ask very personal question to me, right?
Okay.
You want very personal, you want very personal information to me, then you have to ask a question differently. and very personal question
Okay.
to me, then I am able to answer you, right? And that information is useful for to get the insight from my answer, right? For that, for very customized research, you have to perform you have to collect the data as per the requirement. Secondary data, normally the data is collected by other people's, right? And they collected the data as per their own requirements, and you find it the answer in that data. So maybe that the information you may you want from this is not appropriate data set to find this information, right? That's why I'm saying that for very customized uh, outcomes, you need to find out the process and generate collect the data by your own. So sometimes you have to collect the data by the third party and make it uh, to process that data and make your own data. So you collect the
But
data from different parties and then make your own data. And this is also
but
said
sir,
to be a data collection, right?
but sir, in such circumstances, how we can maintain the privacy of the individuals?
Privacy of the individuals. See, you
Actually,
are
we are asking the personal questions, na, sir. So there may
yes.
be some privacy issues.
See, you mixing up two things. है ना?
Yes, sir.
You getting the data from secondary sources, है ना?
Yes, sir.
And you may get the data from the secondary sources, and second you want that the secondary sources will give you a not all information, only the precise information, right?
Okay.
See, whenever our
Yes,
data
sir.
is collected, data is a complete data, है ना? So one party having a complete data, है ना? And that shows when you collect the primary data, you are the original party. You have all information.
Okay.
So what kind of security you want from the collector? You are the whole soul parent of that data, na? So you have all information. When you sharing that data to some
Yes, sir.
other people, then
Got it,
you
sir. Got it.
may hide that data portion of the data and share to
Hmm.
others.
Got
But
it, sir.
when you
Got it. Sir,
collecting, yeah,
sir, but when we talk about the secondary sources of the data set, that means the open repositories, like the data which is available in the GitHub, Kaggle, or UCI
right,
machine learning
right,
repositories. But when we talk about the healthcare domain, so very less amount of healthcare data is available in the open source repositories. So that
right.
data will be insufficient for generating or for
That's why
developing a machine learning model which are applicable for the predictions.
that's why the different researchers are collaborating, and they have to sign the assignments. They have to sign the MOUs. Sorry, and based on that MOUs, they are going to share the data. Right? They are going to share the data, and based on that shared data, they have to perform the research. Because
Okay.
see, the medical information having a very crucial information, very private information, somewhat.